The moment you rush to defend yourself, you have already surrendered your peace. Picture it: a subtle jab at a dinner table, a colleague questioning your competence in a meeting, a partner twisting your words in frustration. You feel the heat rise in your chest. Your mind races. You feel the urge to correct them, to explain, to prove that you have been misunderstood. So you speak, you justify, you provide context, you explain every detail, and in that exact moment, you have handed over your tranquility, because the Stoics understood something most people never learn. Your peace does not depend on convincing others. It depends on mastering yourself. The philosopher Epictetus taught a simple but brutal truth. If someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself. Simply live so that no one believes it. But that is difficult, because from childhood we're trained to explain ourselves. When a teacher accused you of something, you defended yourself. When a parent misunderstood you, you explained. You learned that survival meant convincing authority that you were right. But as adults, we carry that same reflex everywhere. Your boss becomes the judge. Your partner becomes the judge. Even strangers online become the judge. And every time you defend yourself, you silently accept their authority over your peace. The Stoics rejected this completely. Marcus Aurelius ruled the largest empire in the world. Yet in his private writings he reminded himself, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject." In other words, most judgments people make about you are not truths. They are simply opinions, and opinions belong to them, not to you. Most people live as emotional puppets. Someone criticizes them, they panic. Someone accuses them, they explain. They spend their lives trying to manage how others see them. The Stoics called this a form of slavery, because when your peace depends on someone else's opinion, you are no longer free. But there is another way to move through the world, a way so calm, so grounded, that insults lose their power before they even reach you. This is not coldness. It is not arrogance. It is simply the discipline of placing your sense of self where it belongs, inside your own judgment, not inside someone else's reaction. So what happens when someone attacks you and you simply do nothing? Imagine the situation. Someone says, "You're being incredibly selfish right now." The old reaction is immediate defense. "No, I'm not. I did this for you yesterday. I helped you last week." Now imagine the Stoic response. You pause. You breathe. You look at them calmly, and you allow a few seconds of silence. The silence itself becomes a mirror, because when you do not react, you force the other person to confront their own emotions. Often they begin to backtrack. They start explaining themselves. The tension they created now belongs to them. This is not manipulation. It is emotional discipline. The Stoics believe that when someone insults you, they reveal something about their own perception, not your character. As Epictetus explained, remember that it is not the person who insults you who harms you, but your judgment that the insult matters. Silence reveals mastery. When you defend yourself emotionally, you reveal your insecurities. You show people where your wounds are. But when you remain calm, you reveal nothing. You become difficult to provoke, and a person who cannot be provoked is extremely powerful. But silence alone is not always the answer. Sometimes words are required. The Stoic approach, however, is never defensive. Instead of fighting the accusation, you acknowledge reality. If there is truth in the criticism, accept it calmly. If there is not, let it pass. Seneca once wrote, "He who is wise is not disturbed by insult." Imagine someone says, "You messed up this report. You're incompetent." The insecure mind argues, "I'm not incompetent. The data was wrong." The Stoic response is different. "You're right. There are errors in the report. I'll correct them. Notice what happened. You addressed the reality, but you ignored the insult. You accepted responsibility without accepting the attack on your character." That kind of calm ownership signals immense confidence. Only insecure people fight desperately to prove they are perfect. Secure people simply correct their mistakes and move forward. But none of this works if it is only a technique. Stoicism is not a script. It is a philosophy of life. If criticism shakes you, it means it has touched something inside you. The Stoics believe the real battle is not with other people. It is with your own ego. If someone calls you foolish and you become angry, ask yourself why. If someone calls you selfish and you feel wounded, examine the truth within it. Because once you truly understand yourself, accusations lose their power. If someone says something absurd about you, you simply smile, just as you would laugh if someone claimed the sky was green. The ultimate Stoic defense is self-knowledge. When you know who you are, no insult can define you. You cannot shame a person who has already examined their own flaws. You cannot provoke a person who has already mastered their reactions. This is what the Stoics meant by inner freedom. For the next 7 days, try a simple exercise. When someone criticizes you, do not rush to explain yourself. If you are late, simply say, "I am late." If you make a mistake, say, "I made a mistake." Do not rush to protect your image. Let people form whatever opinions they want. At first, it will feel uncomfortable, but over time you will notice something powerful. When you stop defending your ego, you reclaim your energy, and slowly something changes in the way people perceive you. Calmness creates respect. Stillness creates authority. And a person who does not desperately seek approval becomes strangely magnetic. This is the Stoic path, not the path of controlling others, but the path of mastering yourself. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. So keep your composure, keep your silence, and keep your mind unconquered. If this philosophy resonates with you, consider subscribing to The Unconquered Mind, because in a noisy world full of reactions, true power belongs to the person who remains calm.